They searched my office after an anonymous tip, but found something else instead. It was a normal Tuesday morning, when two security officers walked in with serious faces. My coworkers looked up from their desks, whispering. One of them handed me a note, saying there had been a tip that I was hiding something illegal in my office. My heart almost stopped. I knew I had nothing to hide, but the way everyone's eyes turned on me felt like knives. The officers asked me to open my drawers, cabinets, and even my laptop bag. I could feel sweat on my forehead as they pulled things out one by one. Everyone in the office had gathered around, pretending to work but clearly waiting to see me humiliated. I felt anger bubbling inside. Who would hate me enough to set me up like this? When one of the officers opened the bottom drawer, I froze. Inside wasn't anything illegal, but a small shoebox wrapped in an old scarf. My hands shook as they lifted it out. My boss raised his eyebrows, already looking suspicious. When they opened the box, silence filled the room. Inside were letters, photographs, and a tiny stuffed bear. They weren't mine. They belonged to my late daughter. I hadn't told anyone at work about her. She passed away 2 years ago from leukemia, and I kept that box hidden in my office because home felt too empty without her. On days when grief got too heavy, I would open it quietly, read her little notes, and feel like she was still with me. The officers exchanged a look and immediately put everything back, apologizing. My boss cleared his throat, suddenly awkward, and the crowd of coworkers scattered back to their desks. But one thing had already changed. They weren't looking at me with suspicion anymore, but with something closer to guilt and respect. Later that evening, as I sat alone in my office holding that stuffed bear, I couldn't stop thinking about the anonymous tip. Someone wanted to destroy me, but instead, they exposed the most vulnerable part of my life. Maybe it was a cruel trick, but somehow, it reminded me I didn't have to keep carrying my grief in silence anymore.